So yeah, let's talk about the other side of the coin. Let's talk about the Marvels. Now, we're going to talk about the word musical, but we're not talking about Joker 2. We're talking about the Marvels being a musical. So what it is apparently it's not the entire film that would be a musical, but what they go to, I don't know if it's all three of them, one of them, but it sounds like it's gonna be like a big globe-trotting movie, lots of planets, lots of universes. Expect it with Captain Marvel. But it sounds like they're going to go to some location or some planet where heard a good portion. I don't know what that means. I don't know. A good portion could be 10 minutes of somebody. It could be a whole act. I don't know, but apparently a good portion of the Marvels will have a musical feature where the location or planet they go, that everyone just sings. They don't speak normally, they sing. That is their form of speaking. So Dilmas, what do you think about this? Because past few months we got Joker 2, that's gonna be a musical. Oh, Espub said he's seen 1/3 of the movie. Oh my god, this is just I didn't see that, but I believe Espos because he's more up on the up than I am on the true and true, right, Taylor Field? But
True and true. Sorry, what movie is he referring to?
the Marvels
Oh.
being 1/3 a musical. So Dylan, what do you think about this of like the Marvels having 1/3 of the film being a musical?
Uh, it's very strange. But I'm down for it. I don't know. I think they could. I feel like my hype for this project has kind of plummeted.
Oh right.
In that Miss Marvel didn't really land for me. The last 4 episodes didn't work for me. And honestly, Captain Marvel's a movie that just I don't know. That's like really floated towards the bottom of my MCU rankings, which we'll get to at the end of the year again.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I like both those characters. I like both the performances from the actresses, but I know there's another character in there as well, but I don't know. I guess I'm like pretty low on the hype side. So to do something zany like this, I could be down for. It's something different from the MCU. I'd be really curious how they work it into the story and the world and make it fit in with that MCU machine that we know of. So I don't know. This is a very strange. There's a very strange rumor. I don't know, like how reputable is this? The source?
I think it's happening from the sources I've seen. Yeah, it's looking like it's happening. Now, Espubs with a great question. If you had to choose which act of the movie, what do you think it would be? Or even what would you say, what would it be? So not even what you think, what you would. So you got the first act, you got the opening, you got the middle, rising action, the conflict, and then you got the final, battle, the third act. What would you go with?
Well, if you take that turn in the end of the movie, and you just turn it into, I feel like that could really hit people the wrong way. I feel like you got to do it right at the start.
Right at the start? Oh, okay.
That's my view, yeah. I think you got to do it right at the start. Before people can get ready for it, it's like it's already happening. And I'm sure that'd be part of the marketing if it's that big chunk of it. But yeah, what a weird rumor. Who's the director for this? And
Nia DaCosta, who did Candyman, the latest one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I like that choice because there's things in Candyman I really liked. So
yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. See, I would go the reverse. I'd go the third act because if people hate it, then at least the movie's about to end. Instead of if you start with it and they don't like it and maybe got a sour taste in their mouth the whole time, like, oh, that musical, that really took me out of it. But then I guess it could just leave a sour taste leaving the theater. And if they didn't like the musical, that's all they talk about is, hey, I didn't like that. Like I've heard a lot of people that didn't love Love and Thunder, didn't like Love and Thunder, where they said I liked the third act, but the first and second act didn't work because it was just so zany and so over the top, where at least the third act kind of brings it down a little. But I don't know. It's one of these things that I appreciate. It's tough. I appreciate it because Phase 4 is definitely the experimental phase that everyone's kind of like coined it as. Like you look at WandaVision, you look at even the TV shows, you look at Eternals, like there's tons of stuff where they've taken shots with, right? So I appreciate that. I guess how, like, it sounds so weird because Joker, I was completely on board. I'm like, oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Let's do this because I thought it made sense plot-wise. This still makes sense plot-wise, I guess, that they land on a planet maybe and they have to sing. I just don't know how much I want to see that in there. I just feel like, I guess, Joker, the musical part, I can have more fun with because you're going to be dealing with these two insane characters, lots of broad costumes, maybe very tongue-in-cheek. This could be that too. And it does almost fit with Miss Marvel. She had that like mini musical number in the show, right, where she's dancing. So it's like, it does fit. I just... Oh man, as someone that's not a fan of musicals, I'm just like, this could be a thing where the same way people go Love and Thunder or Ragnarok, where it's just like, oh, I just check out, this humor's not for me. that could be this in this movie, and it's not what I was expecting at all. I was not expecting maybe a musical scene, but a whole entire act to be dedicated to a musical is tough. And like SBEP says, it depends who they get the music. Super bad. Mike says, I'd like them if the songs were Lin-Manuel Miranda, Marvel meets Hamilton. It'd be a good choice.
So, but the rumor is not that it's specifically an act. I think that was like a hypothetical question, right?
Yeah, but if it's 1/3, if it's 1/3, and if you're dividing the movie in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, I would believe it's one of the acts.
Really, you don't think it would just be like sprinkled throughout and having musical numbers at certain points?
No, because I bet they probably land at this place and then leave the place, or that's where the final battle is,
What
right?
if
Because
the villain is Songbird, and I don't know where the musical part of that comes in, but just like something like that, where the villain or something like that has some sort of power that. Is that a thing? Dig deep into your Marvel
it could be,
knowledge.
but I don't want that, because that means like I would rather it be that, like, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end. I'd rather we do it and then move on or be done with it. I don't want it sprinkled throughout the film, because then we keep coming back to it over and over, and I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm excited and I'm actually excited to see if they do market it, because I don't know if they will. They might keep it a surprise, and because that might turn off the hardcore base of we love superheroes and we love the action of it and everything like that. I don't know. It's a choice. At least it's being something different. But Taylor, where are you on this?
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, is there a huge following for like High School Musical and stuff like that? Because is that what they're kind of going for? Like the high school vibes, just throw the musical in there with superhero stuff? Because for me, that's not really my kind of gravy.
I like that you went High School Musical. Like there's hundreds of musicals. Like you got something like La La Land, which was like a worldwide sensation, but you pulled out High School Musical from Disney
I was
Channel.
looking at something that was aimed at Disney Channel, because it's. Can the comparison,
family
the only
audience.
thing we have in comparison is Miss Marvel, which is aimed at a younger audience. So I'm attributing that to like the High School Musical aspect, where I imagine it's probably going to be for a younger audience still, with familiarity, so that long-term Marvel fans can go in and enjoy the general narrative of what's going on in the universe. But I don't know. It seems kind of out of left field all of a sudden. Like, hey, we're just gonna make Marvel's a musical.
But isn't if you start with WandaVision, that's even left field, right? First 3 episodes are a fake TV show. Nothing like that ever happened in the MCU, right? So like they've done some left field stuff,
and that's true. As long as they can write it in good, then I'm sure it'll be fine. Like the initial concept to me doesn't sound super like prime, but them being able to write it in, because we know in Doctor Strange there's different universes where like some universes you're literally like paint or goop, so honestly one could exist where all you do is sing to communicate, like you guys were talking about. So definitely plausible. Or Feige was just on the phone and he's like, hey, there's rumors that Joker 2 is going to be a musical.
No.
Let's cop in there first before they do it.
The Marvels have filmed like a long time ago. Joker 2 is not even in,
and they're
like,
refilming scenes
yet.
now to make it a musical now.
They are reshooting scenes right now, but I don't
third
think
of the
that's-
scenes.
I don't think that's it. Even though I don't know if this was announced, and SBubs, you can let me know. I think it was he let it slip. I think Samuel Jackson said he was in the Marvels. I don't think that was confirmed before, but now it's confirmed. Now he was in the first one, so it makes sense. But like, that's
So would
new
he know
news.
that though?
No, he just like he's filming right now, and then he like let it slip. He did that at Secret Invasion too. He's at he's in an interview once, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so excited to be working with Martin Freeman, like in this Marvel show and stuff." And that's the guy who plays like what's his name, Agent Ross, like Black Panther. And so yeah, and he had never been announced for the show. So Samuel Jackson is like almost as bad as Tom Holland. If you look at his track record, he leaks stuff like all the time. And I think he accidentally said Don Cheadle's going to be in Secret Invasion as well as like War Machine or something. So
Well, let's just ask him then if it's a musical. Let's get him on the pod.
Esther Badman says, can actors even sing well? Well, Brie Larson sings in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, so you got her down.
And they probably casted him on with that being a thing.
True. And Tiana, I'm pretty sure speaking of Henry Cavill, she did a very apparently terrible play with him, but lots of people have that Broadway stage play career usually can sing, because those are usually numbers or things that you do in those things. So But yeah, and then okay, so not sure if he said it, but there was a lead casting grid for the Marvels. He was on. Okay, so it was just a rumor, but now he's confirmed it because I guess he's shooting reshoots. So there you go.